acknowledge the inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Again, we're looking at the base level there. And Leland, I know we talked about this. You know, you were out here last week and we were talking about how the pad looks so different from the shuttle days. Can you talk about what you remember and kind of how it's different now?
Yeah, I mean, the form and the function, I mean, this black pad with the white ticking and, you know, it's a really beautiful, you think about STEM education, but this is totally STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And I think, you know, SpaceX has done an incredible job of making things look really beautiful and functional and you know, everything just fits perfectly. And I think, you know, when we were having our launch pad, there were hoses and things hanging off, but this is a very sleek and elegant and kind of futuristic look at the next era of space travel. And, you know, I just love seeing these Teslas versus the Astrovan. Are they doing selfies?
Looks like they're trying to strain to see the top of the Crew Dragon, just taking in the sight.
It's pretty high.
And I don't know if you caught this one. We could see it briefly on the shot, but the license plate says ISS BND, ISS bound.
Oh,
You
nice.
follow?
Nice.
Yeah. And hopefully they will be today. We just need the weather to say, I mean, it looks pretty nice right now, right? But I mean, obviously it's not just what the weather conditions are here. They've got to think about downrange in case of an abort, make sure it's okay for recovery if we get into a situation like that, which is unlikely.
So this elevator is going to take them up to level 255. It's not 255 floors, but that's 255 feet. And from there, they'll take, once they get up there, and this elevator is pretty zippy, so they'll get up there pretty quickly, they'll get out, and they'll walk up another flight of stairs to level 265, and that's where they will greet the crew arm.
And I don't know, well, obviously Leland's been in the elevator. Lauren, I'm pretty sure you've been out there too, but the first time I rode in that elevator, I was like, whoa, we're really moving in this.
Pull some G's.
A little bit of a jolt when it first goes.
Yeah, you get used to it. And then the jolt is a little bit more extreme when you get in the rocket and take off.
Just a little.
Just a little primer. It's a primer.
The doors are opening. And here they come.
It's a beautiful view up there too of the, you know, all of the surroundings in Florida and this national wildlife retreat that we have here, but getting ready for the business at hand of getting in the rocket and heading to the cosmos.
And those are the stairs Lauren mentioned. They're at it's the 255-foot level right now.
Yes.
I think I said that right. And now they're headed up the stairs to the 265-foot level. That's a level that will take them to where the crew access arm is in the white room.
Yeah, that's the view right there that they're looking at. And Lauren, what are those chevrons, those white chevrons on the floor? What do they lead to?
Those are basically highlighting the exit path. So in the event that that anyone up there needed to get away ASAP, they follow those arrows to where escape baskets await them. There's 7 baskets, and they'll hop in there, and it's kind of like a zip line. They'll slide all the way down from that fixed service structure down to the ground, safe and away from the rocket.
Great.
And at the top right of your screen where you see them, there's actually a phone right up there next to the worm. There's the worm again, Leland. But there's a phone.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that now.
Okay.
It really pops up there.
Yeah, it's like it belongs there or something.
It's funny, isn't it? Leland, tell us about the phone. What's the significance of the phone up there?
Yeah, I mean, you can call family members that you maybe weren't able to come to the launch, and in this case, there are quite a few of them. But you know, it's a last minute to say goodbye and say that you're going to talk to them when you get to space.
Absolutely. And again, they're just kind of taking in the sights before they go into the white room, and the pad team is there. You can see them. They're in black with the white numbers on their back. They're all members of the pad team. They're going to be helping them when they get into ingress. Actually, we're at T minus 2 hours and 50 minutes right now, at about T minus 2 hours and 35 minutes. So just under 15 minutes from now is when the astronauts will ingress. That's the term we use for climbing into Dragon. And of course, they will have the assistance of the suit techs and get buckled in. And so we want to head over to Hawthorne now for a preview of what's in store for not just Bob and Doug, but future space travelers. We see them signing, looks like they're signing something in there right now.
Yeah, we give them a black Sharpie to sign the white room. It's starting a new tradition.
Yeah, we didn't do that. That's nice.
That's
That's a
awesome.
good tradition.
Yeah.
And while we were in the video, we saw Bob and Doug walk down the crew access arm. Leland, it's like that, futuristic look that you talked about. I mean, what did you think seeing that and how that kind of compare and contrast what that was like during shuttle?
It's really beautiful, I think. I mean, back when I was flying on shuttle, everything looked. Oh, look at the thumbs up from Bob. He's getting excited. Just a few little photos at the end there. But it's just a totally different era. I mean, the SpaceX team is really looking to make something futuristic. It's looking like something from the George Jetsons or from other movies that you've seen on television and at the movies. And I think it's something that inspires our country and inspires our children especially to see that they want to be these astronauts. They want to study hard and be that next generation of explorers launching from Cape Canaveral in a SpaceX rocket, or working for NASA, or working for SpaceX, or any of the other companies that are trying to get off planet. And I think that this change in the way that we're doing business is going to be a really great way of getting more people to the table to fly in space.
Yeah, that was really important to us. Dragon, we see it as a 21st century spaceship. It needs to look like a 21st century spaceship. It flies like a 21st century spaceship. So of course, the ground support equipment should look like it's from the same era. The suits do. All of that sort of future-facing technology and aesthetic is super important to us. Actually, right now, you can see that duct in the hands of member number 5 there. That is an ECS duct, or environmental control system duct. Once this original, who just went in? Was that Doug or Bob?
I think that was Doug.
Okay. Doug
That was
just climbed
Doug,
in.
yeah.
That is awesome.
He's ahead of schedule. Somebody tell him to climb back
They
out.
are booking. It is great.
He's ready. He's like Leland. We were joking earlier about it. We were going to have to buckle Leland into his seat here to keep him from running out there.
Yeah, if we had stayed outside, I was going to swim across the moat and run over and get in the vehicle with Bob and Doug.
All right,
But
now Bob's going in.
yeah.
This is great. So the suit technicians are helping the crew climb inside. They're holding back the hatch seals to protect the seals on the hatch, but also making sure that the crew doesn't hit their head or anything on the way in. Even though they have helmets, we still don't want that to happen.
And they climbed in a couple minutes earlier than we expected them to, but Lauren, that SpaceX has rehearsed this over and over and over again with Bob and Doug, and and I've heard them say, well, we might be a little bit ahead of schedule if we're ready. It just gives them more time to check things out.
Yeah. So right now, what the crew, the suit technicians are doing is they're strapping the crew's feet into these restraints that the boots sit inside of. They're then going to close those 5-point harnesses around them. I know, Leland, you talked about some of the harnessing that you had in the past with the shuttle.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a more sleek design where there's one point to plug in to get cooling, communications, and everything. And we had a 5-point harness. We, had these hoses and things all over the place. But I think this is a much more streamlined look into the future of space travel.
Yeah, and similar to what was going in the ONC building during the suit checkouts, that seat umbilical is going to connect to the right thigh of the spacesuit. There is a fluid module that is connected to the spacesuit, and that provides fresh cooling air and also nitrox for the leak checks that are going to come up later. But the audio system is also going through that umbilical. So while the crew while the suit techs are getting the crew all buckled in, they're going to perform a comm check. And that's, again, similar to what was done at the ONC building, but this time the integrated two-way communications between the astronauts and the ground crew.
And we're going to head back to Hawthorne now, as we just saw Bob and Doug ingress Crew Dragon. Dan?
Hey, thanks. Yeah, it's incredible to see them inside the capsule. If you're just now tuning in,